Well, especially good morning to Grenada, Carrick, Petey Montney, the rest of the Eastern Caribbean. It's about a minute gone past the hour of 11 o'clock in the studios. And certainly we're happy that you're here with us on this Saturday morning for, well, the first of its kind, GBN's Sports Central. We'll discuss all things related and specific to sports in the morning time. Certainly is an opportunity for you to get up to speed with what's happening. COVID has had us in a bind, no doubt, but certainly with the easement that we've gotten, the numbers under control, it has afforded us the opportunity. We saw we've gotten the green light that sporting activities can commence, certainly within the context of COVID protocols and everything else that happens. This morning, what are we going to be focusing on? We have a really lineup for you today. We'll be talking swimming. We'll be checking in the Gaza and the Swimming Association as they get ready to head off to the Pan Am Games. We will be talking cricket. Assistant coach at the West Indies. We're linking up with him. So too is the man himself, Mr. Incredible when it comes to cricket, commentator, cricket extraordinaire, the man Troy George. He's also on. We'll be chit-chatting with the man Bruce Swan. We'll be getting up to speed what's happening in the GFA. And certainly we have our guy Sid the Kid. He's going to be linking up with us later on in the day to bring us up to speed with what's happening inside of the Premier League. We're going to start things off with cricket, folks. And certainly I want to say good morning to the man Troy George and good morning to Coach Ruddy of the West Indies. Gentlemen, good morning and welcome to the program.
Yeah, good morning. Good morning, and good morning, listeners, and thanks for having me.
Indeed, it's a pleasure having you here. Well, I'm not seeing Coach, but I'm hearing Coach, but I'm not seeing him. We're going to get him up on screen in just a bit. Gentlemen, I think it is only fitting the conversation that, of course, is on the lips of all, not just Grenadians, Troy, but West Indians, Caribbean fans of cricket supporters, West Indies cricket supporters. It's the T20 World Cup. I want to start off by saying, Coach, congratulations to the West Indies on that thriller yesterday. Indeed, it was a thriller, and it sort of gave us a little bit of room to breathe. It was one of those do or die games, Troy. Listen, either you win it or you know what happens. Coach, let me start with you. I can only imagine what the emotions were like when it was all over and done and you pulled off that 3-run victory. Take us through that emotional highs as it happened yesterday.
Well, it was a very difficult game for us. Obviously, we didn't bat as well as we would like. Puram gave us a little bit of impetus at the back end of the innings, getting 40 off 22 balls, and Jason Holder with a quick cameo of 15 off 5 balls got us up to 143. But we always felt that once the seam was bowled well and bowled into the pitch, we always felt that we had a chance, and we were able to execute really well. And especially the last 3 overs bowled by Rampal, Bravo, and Russell. That final over was very, very nerve-wracking, and you could see the relief in the dressing room. You could see the relief on the field when we did get over the line, because if we'd lost that game, we would have been virtually out of the World Cup. We would have had a very, very slim chance of qualifying. But that victory has given us a chance. It's given us a lifeline. We've still got a lot of work to do. We've still got a lot of areas to improve in. So hopefully we can perform a lot better and give the people in the Caribbean something to smile about.
Giving us here in the Caribbean something to smile about. Troy, your thoughts yesterday? I know you. I'm not asking you if you followed the game. I know that you followed the game. What was going through your mind? I mean, looking at the game. 142, you're probably thinking, boy, that's not enough? Or were you absolutely confident, listen, it doesn't matter what happens, they are going to bring this home? What's going through your mind, Troy?
Well, good morning to everyone. Hope everyone is hearing me clearly. Well, to be honest, JC, from since yesterday, I was telling the guys that once Holder and Chase gets into the team, the wind of change definitely is going to happen. So I was pretty confident that we were going to play better. was disappointed at the same time in terms of how we approached the game. But Puran came in well, and like I said, Holder at the back end gave us some good support. Was really nervous because Robert was not having a good day at the same time with the ball, and Russell to bowl that last over, knowing that he has that one ball that probably his wicket taking ball at the same time.
Right.
Thought. But he did extremely well. He kept his composure. He bowled those good Yorker length balls, and I think that would do good for him in terms of his confidence in his bowling, and probably would just trickle into his batting because we definitely need him to really get us over the line against Sri Lanka and Australia.
Coach,
it was really a good win for West Indies.
Indeed, it was an excellent win. It brought a breath of relief on all Caribbean people. Coach, what did you say to Russell? I mean, yes, that's what cricket is all about. T20 cricket is about the excitement and the thrill of it. But very often, when you're in those knife-cutting moments, when a tournament and a championship is sitting waiting in the wing, you don't always want it to come down to the final over where you have to decide where is bat versus ball. What did you say to Russell?
Well, obviously, I couldn't say anything with Russell because I'm in the dressing room and he's out on the field. But we could see that communication was very clear in the field that we had set. We have our plans to each batsman before the game, so you know the batsman's strength and weakness. So we knew that once we go full at the depth at their captain, he's going to struggle and don't allow him to scoop the ball. So Russell was clear in his plans and he was clear in his execution, and that's all that you can ask people to do, to back the plans and try and execute. Sometimes you don't get it right. If you look at the game today between Sri Lanka and South Africa, with 16 off the last over, the bowler didn't obviously get his plans right, and they won with 2 balls to spare. So it's all about holding in there, backing the execution and backing the plans. And once you do that, then you need a little bit of luck as well, because a ball can easily skirt down to third man or find leg 4. But Russell bowled really well, and he showed that he's got that temperament for big match situations. Obviously, he's a very experienced player for us. He would have seen that. A number of times. But you can't underestimate the role that Bravo played bowling the 19th over, because obviously he left Russell with 13 runs to get in the last over, and that was very important. And like the panelists said, he didn't bowl well in his first 2 overs, and to come back and bowl those 2 last overs with skill and confidence shows the ability of Dwayne Bravo as well.
The conversation, of course, we've gotten a breather. We've won the 3rd game. Certainly, what was the mood like in the camp after the first 2 defeats? They were nerve-wreckers. The opener against England, bowled out for 56, and people started going, "Whoa!" Then we had another close shave. I remember Puran saying, and ahead of yesterday's game, "We are confident we can do this." In speaking with the guys going into yesterday's game, I'm assuming, just give us a sense as to what the mood was like in the dressing room, and when you took to the field, what do you as the coaching staff say to them? Can you give us appreciation of that?
Well, obviously, you have a discussion immediately after the game. You look at the practice.
Coach, I'm not sure, Roddy, but we're losing you all over with your camera. Is it possible you could just get steady for us a bit, because you're all over? We don't want to see too much of what's happening that we're not supposed to see. Okay, go ahead.
Hello?
Yes, I'm hearing you. We just need you to steady your cameras.
Okay, I'll try.
Oh, Hezra, let me give you a few minutes to sort that out. Let me just give you a few minutes to sort that out. I have Troy here. Troy, I know you're confident. There is no shortage of confidence when it comes to you as to how the West Indies is going to perform. You saw the first two games. Take me through. First game, literally, a total non-performance by Team West Indies, some will say. Then we saw game number 2, and we're probably thinking, this is going to crumble. In your mind, what is it you thinking? What was the thinking, in your mind, as a cricketing enthusiast, commentator, player yourself?
Well, I think the guys went in the first game with confidence and probably overconfidence at the same time, and sticking to their strategy, going hard because they have back-end hitters, and most of the West Indies players are T20 players, so they have full confidence in what they do. But that's my thing is that I don't think players, the roles that they are given, are really holding up to their end in delivering. In the aspect of their batting and putting West Indies. And like Pollard said, they have no one else to blame. The first game was, as the defending champs, atrocious, really horrible. And it put us back, a game that we really should have done better and possibly, give England a good run. But England is playing really well. I think right now they have Australia in a sort of border at present. And hoping that they do beat Australia.
In fact, Australia in that game, Australia is currently at 75 for 5.
Yeah, so if they definitely can beat Australia, that would give us a good window. Hopefully, we can really come back good with the confidence and play Sri Lanka and Australia and win that. But after the first two games, it was really down and out. But I definitely believe that West Indies it's ordinary situation for West Indies normally. We're always in that situation and we always come out. And a lot of teams know that. And I have full confidence after winning that game. Once we get a lifeline, like I said, I believe the breeze has turned. We got a lifeline. We go into the semifinals. There's no doubt that West Indies is going to win the World Cup.
Okay.
You can mark me on that, JC. You can mark me on
okay.
that. I mean,
you putting your money where your mouth is on this one.
No, I can put my money on my mouth with it. I can put my money in my mouth on this. Bravo, Gale. Even Gale is not performing, but Gale is a super performer. And like Marlon Samuels, comes up in big games when necessary. You can go back into numerous of matches where Gale probably would have struggled during the tournament, and when it comes down to really closer games or finals, they show up. And Bravo, with his experience, his knowledge, Pollard is, for me, a really good strategist, good captain, and just backing the guys. I just think, for me, the guys in the middle, especially Hetmeyer, that should be the most better player or spin in that middle to really help the guys and help the middle core to really, get the scoring ticking, and stuff, is not doing that job. And I think that is where we kind of lacking to push our totals to a bigger score, 150, 160, where Russell can come and just dominate most of the paces, because we know that he struggles against the leg spinners, and he doesn't like it.
Right.
We need those guys in the middle, the Puran Holder, for me, who's a much better player of spin, to really stay in that middle there and hold the end and let the other guys deal with what they are accustomed dealing with.
Coach, let me ask you your assessment of what the great TG has just thrown out here. Might you assume that the confidence level is just as high inside of the camp? That, listen, we live and die off of these moments. Coach, ready?
Of course.
I'm not hearing you, Coach.
I'm hearing you loud and clear.
Okay, good, right. Thank you. You're here. So TG is just saying, listen, West Indies, we've been down this road before. We're losing Coach again. We've been down this road before, and he's saying, listen, he's not worried at all about the potential outcome of the tournament. I think we seem to have lost coach again. Coach seems to be having some serious challenges with his device. Let me come back to you. Troy. Chris Gayle brought into the team the elderly statesman, the talisman. However, there has been mixed reaction as to whether or not he should be in the team. And some have said, well, listen, we made a gamble, we brought him in the team, we're not sure why. Here he is after 3 matches. Well, there are the two warm-up games, and there is the 3 matches. We saw his non-performance in the build-up to the tournament. Why did you even bother go down that route? Was it a wise decision to have Gales included in the team?
Selections of players is always difficult, and sometimes you don't go based on at present someone's form, but you would go based on the experience and how well they probably could mentor players likewise. And Gayle has played numerous of T20s. He knows a lot, and he can really share some of that knowledge, even if he's not performing the way that we expect him and he himself expects to perform. But also know that Gayle has a good arm. He has a golden arm with the ball, and that could be, especially with the wickets that we see now, he can come in handy if needed by his skipper to deliver. So it's just not Gale's ability to score runs, but his ability to really inspire the team, help motivate some of the guys, and lead them along the way. Because some things that he could see that some of the youngsters may not be able to see. And I think, the region and possibly the world would be questioning why Gayle, his average for the last 15 or so matches, 16 or so matches, is way, way below. I think it's probably, his strike rate is what, 20 or something?
Just about, yes, they're about.
They're about. But it's much more than just him scoring runs. His probably his last stint in a World Cup, and it would be really nice for him to go out with 3 World Cup championship on his back. So it's much more than just Gayle scoring runs. I think it's mentoring, leadership, and probably destiny at the same time too.
The segment is coming to a close. We just have 2 questions. I'm not seeing Coach. Coach, are you still with us? Coach seems to be having some challenges on his end. You've stated categorically clear that you're putting your money on the West Indies. What in your estimation? There's always a question of winning the toss, who bats first. What is the option? We've seen the last couple of games. Do you think on which end is West Indies better at chasing, or are they better at defending totals?
No, either way, I think our cricket it's gradually taking some form in terms of whether we chase or whether we bowl first. It was proven down in the Caribbean against South Africa, a series that we had to win, but it was tight. South Africa learned a little quicker than we did. But if you realize that we won most of our games defending, our totals, right? And I think that would have done us good in terms of our bowling. And really and truly, you're seeing now that our bowling is more impactful than our batting. But we know that our batting do have the power to really get us home, even though we have to chase or even putting up a good total. So whether batting first or defending, I think West Indies still has, the combination to really, perform and win. It's just that mentally, I think we probably have a mental block somewhere in how we decide that we're going to chase or we're going to set a total when we bat first against teams. And I think 2 teams, West Indian players are the most looked at players in T20. So it's a lot of study on players and how they hit,
right,
how they react to certain things. So a lot of study. So we are already under the belt. But I think it's guys now trying to fine tune, okay, what can I do now to counter what you have already learned from what I can do.
What
And I
can
think
we
it's that
do?
Stage right there. Yeah. So I think it's just that stage there that once we come out of that, then we are good.
Then we're good. I got to do one. We're running out of time for your segment. Australia, they're currently 98 for 5, and they midway through the 17th over. Looking at the game number 4, what in your estimation, depending on whether or not if we have to bat first, what in your estimations would be, should always be in the mind, a reasonable target, assuming that, let's say, we win the toss, we opt to bat. What in your mind should be either a reasonable figure if we bat in first to make, or if we have to field, what should the bowlers be looking at in terms of restricting the other team? Your 2 figures as we get into the final game and we wrap this segment.
I don't have figures because the match itself, the wicket that they're playing on could really determine what sort of total that you possibly can get. But definitely, I think if they maintain the same team, that Chris Gayle needs to be certain of what he's going to do. And I don't think he's certain of what he's going to do in terms of attacking or defending. But we definitely need to get a good start. If we can get a good start, possibly a runner ball or just above 60 with one or so wicket, we possibly get 160. We get 160. That's definitely defendable.
I got one.
If we do bat second, I'm still backing West Indies because Bravo, I believe, have confidence. Kohler in the bag, they can do it, even with the struggle. I have one final question for you. There's been no appearance of our homeboy. Should he be included in the starting 11? Yes or no? And yes or no, Troy? Poor escaped the goal with a 40 of 25, so it probably might be difficult. The only space there I see is it would have probably been Hetmeyer, but I don't think they would probably trade Hetmeyer for Andre at this point because Hetmeyer is still a better player of spin. And playing Sri Lanka, I think they probably would still hold with Hetmeyer. Gayle will still play. Gayle will still play. Gayle will still play, says TG. Gayle will still play. No hope of the Spiceman being added into the mix. At this point, I highly doubt it. But if he does, I think he will do extremely well. Thanks a lot, comrade. I know I can always depend on you. We'll continue to keep your fingers on the pulse as we continue to see and monitor the team's performance in the Asian subcontinent. We'll take a quick commercial break. We'll be right back right here on Saturday's GBN Sports Central. It's your boy JC. When we come up, what else is in the mix? Of course, we have the swimmers from Gaza, and we have the man Bruce Swan waiting in the wings. Quick commercial breaks, folks, and we'll be right back.
This is a message from the Ministry of Health. If you or a family member suspect that you may have contracted COVID-19 and are displaying symptoms, please immediately self-isolate at home. This means that you must also avoid all contact with other members of your household. Do not visit hospitals or health centers, as this creates the potential for further spread of the virus, and it puts additional persons at risk when you come into contact with them. Your best course of action is to call the COVID-19 hotline at 458-4787 or 538-4787, or contact your nearest health center or medical station. Once your information has been received, health officials will come to you. Help prevent the spread of COVID-19. This has been a message from the Ministry of Health.
And welcome back, folks. It is GBN Sports Central here on a Saturday. We move from cricket, where we heard there from, well, we lost Coach Roddy somewhere during the conversation, and we had our local commentator, the cricket himself, Troy George, give us his assessment as to where Team West Indies, he's all confident that the Team West Indies is good to go. From the cricket pitch, we've been trying to make a splash in the pool, and we know, believe me, we have 4 of our local stars. And note, when I say stars, I mean it 100%. Let me introduce them for you. I should introduce them in the order of their status. I introduced to you the elderly statesman in the midst, and he probably may not like that, but he is the elderly statesman in the midst. He starts to smile already because he doesn't even need the introduction. The man, Kerry Oliver. Please, folks, be kind enough to open up your mics as we get ready to go live.
Hello.
Gentlemen, ladies, good morning. Welcome to Sports Central. How are we doing today?
Not too bad. Thank you.
Zachary, you guys can please open up your mics. Unmute your mics. We're having this conversation simultaneously. Kerry, I introduced you as the elderly statesman. Any offense taken, or are you quite comfortable carrying the title?
None taken at all. I take the role on fully for this one.
You'll take the role on at any time. Young Zachary Gresham, the last time I saw you was somewhere in a pool, somewhere before COVID, I think. How have you been? How are you doing?
Oh, I'm doing really good. I trained hard for this, so I'm good.
You're ready for this. So the 2 gentlemen in the mix, 2 wonderful young ladies also, Lady Hyson, Lady Charles. Ladies, good morning. How are you this morning?
Good morning, I'm good. How are you?
I am wonderful. I'm not sure why. Let's talk about your next outing, because I'm not saying your next outing because I know you guys, you've been representing Grenada. But now we're getting ready to take on, to take your career to another dimension, another major meet that is on its way. Your thoughts, the excitement, having been selected to represent Grenada. Take me through the emotions as it is right now. Starting with you, I'm looking at the faces and I'm thinking, Zachary, yeah, you are the youngest in the mix. Yeah, if I remember, yes, you are the youngest in the mix. What's the emotions like, youngster? The baby in the mix, having daddy carry over your shoulder all the time.
Well, I don't really get nervous for meets. That's a good thing I find. I'm just really excited to finally compete. This is gonna be my first meet in almost 2 years, so I'm just really excited to compete.
Really exciting. Gabrielle, what's going through your mind?
A bunch of things, I'm very honored and grateful that I was chosen to represent Grenada to swim. I haven't swam with the national team in about 2 years, even though I've been competing throughout the years, but I'm just really excited. I'm a little nervous because it is a very big meet, but I think it's also good to be a little bit nervous because, you just never know what could happen.
Lady Charles, what's the emotions like as you get prepared for the meet?
Well, I'm always nervous, so I'm very nervous, but at the same time, I'm very excited. I'm very honored to be selected to go to the first ever Junior Pan American Games, and I think I'll do my best there.
The meet is from the 25th to the 30th of November in Colombia. Let's talk about preparation. I know COVID, not just for you athletes, I'm not sure what the impact has been, but COVID has had us all in a tailspin, Kerry. What have you been up to?
Honestly, I'm in the US right now, so although COVID was a thing, it's a lot less of that now. I'm able to train like normal. There's nothing really, no downside to it, but I know recently competitions, a lot have been canceled and so, and it's good to see, they're taking steps to sort of bring those back. especially I guess the Olympics sort of, gave them an opening to do that. It's great. It's an honor again to participate for Grenada, to represent, and I'm really looking forward to it.
Let's talk about the growth that we've seen in the sport over the years. Zachary, you've represented you've swam locally, you've represented at the regional level. Where to from here for you as a young swimmer? Off to Colombia for the first ever the Pan Am Games. What's in store for you for the new year?
Well, for the new year, I actually just finished school, so I'm gonna start to do probably SAT classes and then probably head up to the States, take swimming to another level, and then hopefully the Olympics in 2024, and then just keep working on myself, trying to be better my times, and just grow out of prison.
And you said Olympics, and I started to smile because we just came off the memories of the Olympics not too long ago. What did it mean for you? What did it mean for you? While you've been there, you've seen Grenadians at regional meets, other intercontinental meets. But what was the emotion like for you when you seen two of your local compatriots standing there at the pinnacle of their sport, representing Grenada? What was the emotion like for you as a junior swimmer? Can you take us back through that?
I mean, yeah, they did really well. I was looking up at them. They did really good times, fast times. I was really happy for them. And yeah, it's just a really good experience overall.
I'm trying to remember Felix. It was Dylan Felix, and I'm trying to remember her name. I know it's
Lily.
Yes. That must be. Thank you, Olivier. Old age catching up with Gail and I. Yeah. I know she wouldn't admit it. Let's look at the development of sports, Lady Charles. You as a junior swimmer, a young swimmer, having made your mark on the sport, what sort of impact do you see, can you see swimming really having on the sporting landscape of Grenada, given that it is not primarily one of the go-to sports that you hear a lot of youngsters thinking of? You ask them what sport you want to get involved in, and they may probably quickly say, they make mention of one of the others. But you've been in it literally all of your lifetime. Looking ahead, what sort of impact do you think the sport of swimming can make on having young people and the sporting landscape holistically for Grenada?
Well, I think swimming isn't widely recognized as the other sports, and I think that's a bad thing because swimming is a very nice sport. Like, you get to experience new opportunities, you get to see new countries, and I feel like young swimmers or young children who want to be swimmers should go into swimming because it's a very good sport to do.
Hyson, you share the same sentiments, or you thinking otherwise?
No, I agree with Anika. I think that, especially living on an island, it's really important that all the young children should be able to swim. And I think swimming is a really great sport. All the teammates, all the friends, everything that you learn from swimming doesn't just help you in the sport, it helps you in life. It helps you past swimming, past all of that. So I think the more that we can inspire young kids to get into swimming, the better.
It seems almost like a travesty, Kerry, that we're born where water surrounds us. And it's interesting, you hear the statistics that so many Grenadians, swimming is not something that they enjoy. That is unfortunate. But Gabriella actually highlighted the fact that swimming is not just about being in the pool, but it helps you overall, holistically. Share with us your own experience over the years, because you've been swimming from since time memorial, and how that has helped you sink in both pool, academics. What has it been like?
Well, overall, swimming has just really made me more disciplined. It's helped with my time management skills because, you're going from practices, 2-hour practices, to going home to doing homework, just trying to find a balance between everything that you're doing. And so I just really think it helped me focus more and put my energy into something productive. And it really did show in all other aspects of life.
Kerry?
I believe, honestly, I think people shy away from swimming because it's one of the more difficult things to learn. You would quicker want to go play with a ball, want to kick ball.
What could be so difficult to learn to swim? Jump in the water, move your arms, kick your legs. What could be difficult about that?
Yeah, it's people scared about the whole drowning aspect. It's you get into the water and it's not like being on land. But it's also a difficult sport to train for. You don't have competitions throughout the year. It's bigger competitions once or twice every year. The biggest thing is Olympics. You wait every 4 years, so you're training 4 years just for this competition. But I believe it helps. That's the sport that helps the most with discipline. You need to take things steps at a time. You can't, just keep looking at the end goal. You need to enjoy the process, go through it, but it's a big sport with discipline.
Zachary?
Big time.
You share the same sentiments?
Yeah, I definitely agree. Discipline is everything in this sport. If you don't have discipline, it'll become very difficult. And time management. That was one of where I really lacked and stuff. Because when I was younger, I never used to manage my time, and I used to get frustrated because I have to skip swimming to do homework, and then it was kind of difficult. But over the years, I got accustomed and I structured my time better. And,
It's interesting you say that. When I spoke with young Ince, Lady Charles, on the heels of going off to the Olympics, and I kind of jokingly asked her, "Tell me what's your favorite music?" And she stopped at me. "Who's your favorite artist?" And she was watching me. I don't have time to listen to music. I don't have time to do these things. Is that a general consensus, Lady Charles, that you're so consumed, and it goes back to the time management thing, that your life, it may come across as though it's not the average life that a young person may probably want to give up to get involved in swimming, getting up 4 o'clock in the morning off to the pool, back and head off to school? Would you tell them go after it?
Me personally, I don't listen to music like that. So, but swimming, it's all about discipline and time management, So you have to plan out today, say at 2 o'clock, this is what I'm doing. At 4, I have training from 4 to 6. And then come back, you have things to do. So you really need to know what you're doing to plan out your stuff.
Wow. Okay, hold on. I don't know if this is just swimmers. I know most of the athletes have favorite books. Let me just do this randomly. I'm going to do a random survey on this Saturday. Okay, starting with you, Zachary. Tell me, what's your favorite show on TV?
I don't even watch TV.
Oh, sweet Lord in heaven. Okay. I'm going to do this randomly. Gabrielle Hyson, besides cricket, besides swimming, what's your next favorite sport?
I don't do anything besides swimming.
Oh, good Lord of mercy. Dear Lord of Lord. I'm Kerry. What's your favorite meal?
I definitely have a favorite sport.
You have a favorite sport?
Basketball.
Oh, basketball. Oh, sweet Lord in heaven. You guys are actually normal kids, right? I was wondering. I'm just saying that jokingly. Because sometimes it can come across that way. And I'm happy. Gail, are you here with me? Please open up your mic. I was wondering whether or not these are actually normal kids. Are they normal teenagers, young people?
Very normal adolescents that do normal adolescent stuff. The reality is that they just know that their time is limited for a lot of things that their friends may be doing, so they don't get to indulge in it the same way, but not that they don't like it anymore. I don't even know if young people watch TV anymore. I don't think TV is a thing.
You don't think TV is a thing? Oh, Did she just say that?
You should have asked them what's their favorite YouTuber or something like that. They might have had someone that they may follow. Or who's their favorite influencer.
Oh, so
That's the wrong question.
We need to start talking about blogging and vlogging.
Yeah, that's the wrong
Oh, so it's my fault then. And here it was, I was thinking you guys are not normal. I'm just joking. I only said that because very often, because of the discipline that goes into the sport, and as you said, Carrie, there's that phobia that of drowning that people naturally think, water drowning. And you always hear the expression, hello, the water, there's no branches out there.
There's no branches.
And I think it comes back from the way we were socialized. We were socialized that parents take kids to the beach, and not for the love of God would I let them go even close to the water. And I guess it's all part. No, don't go. Folks, we're out of time just for today, though. But for Gail, just tell me. I know it's another exciting moment for Gaza being able to send representatives. Not just to represent the association, but Grenada and the sport on the whole. What's the excitement like? And again, I never got a chance to say it. I'm not sure how you've had a view of a new executive, so I think it is okay for me to say congratulations to all the new members, because this is the first time we're actually having this engagement since you had last elections. But what is it like for Gaza?
Yeah.
And to take me through what's the expectations like as we build up towards the start of the games on the 25th?
Well, I can tell you this has probably been the most difficult period, one of the most difficult periods for swimming the past 2 years now. 2 years without OECS, 2 years without, is it 2 years without Kripta, a year without Kripta so far. The swimmers have really had to dig deep into their own personal motivation to keep them going, to keep them training. Fortunate for Carrie and Gabby, they're currently overseas, so they have access to ongoing training. But it has been a real challenge for our locally based competitive swimmers to keep going, because we've had stints of the pools open, stints of the pools closed for extended periods of time, training on the beach, training on dry land, and training wherever you can find a pool of water to keep you going. So from that standpoint, it has been extremely challenging for the discipline. It's been challenging as well to keep the growth of the discipline going, because with the pool being closed on and off for the past year and a half, almost 2 years now, to get new entrants into the sport has been very challenging. I don't think any of us anticipated in September we would have been locked down again the way we were. We had just come off of a training camp for swimmers to get them up and ready and gearing for September season, and unfortunately turned into something else. So for our swimmers who are going off to Pan Am, it's an excellent opportunity. As Zach would have said, this is the first time he's competed in almost 2 years. And it's big. it's pretty big, and I know they have a level of excitement. They have been working hard and getting the preparation ready for that, and we're looking forward to them doing their best out there. We got a good group of swimmers, and we want to be able to provide the environment for that to be developed.
Indeed, looking forward to you wonderful folks doing your best, and you have my 100 support. Keep in mind, I promise you that before you guys head off to Colombia, or even when you get there, we are going to doing this link up, keeping tabs on you guys to ensure that you do your best. Young Zachary, I know that Daddy Oliver is going to take care of you. I'm just jokingly. You can see his face when I say baby Zachary. He's like, what's wrong with what's wrong with him? Oliver, take it. This is just the lighter side of it. Guys, wishing you all the best. Gail, you have a home here at the GBN, and Lady Benoit, I expect to be hearing from you as we navigate on the course over the next couple of weeks. Thank you, wonderful folks. Good morning, Zachary. Have a great day, Lady Charles, Carrie, Lady Hyson, Gail. Thank you, folks. We're getting ready to switch. We're going now to football as we do. This is the pilot program of this. Yes, GBN's Sports Central right here on Saturday with your boy JC. Soccer is next, and then we have to take a little summary of what's happening in the Premier League. Take a quick commercial break. We'll be right back, guys, right here on Sports Central.
my granddaughter.
It is important to know what your road signs and markings means. The zigzag lines means you should not park in the marked area. Parking is allowed inside the solid white lines on the edge of the road. Remember, look out for pedestrians. Pedestrians, be sure the vehicle comes to a complete stop before crossing. These tips can save your life. These tips can make our roads safer for all users. Be safe, be seen, be smart. A message from the Traffic Department of the Royal Grenada Police Force.
Welcome back. It's 10 minutes on to the hour of 11 o'clock. It's your boy JC here with you with our premier GBN Sports Central. Moving now into soccer, I'm expected to link up with my boy Bruce Swan to give us an update on what's happening locally. But before we even do that, we're probably going to get back to him. We have the man Sid the Kid. I understand that he's one of the most the astute brains when it comes to what's happening in the Premier League. Today we get a chance to test his knowledge, and he's going to bring us up to speed. Young Sid, what's happening, comrade?
What's up? Good day all. Welcome to the Premier League, and trust me, today has been the day.
Okay, so today has been the day. There is of two matches that have gone full time already. Leicester City, Arsenal, Burnley, Brentford. Let's look at those two games. What can you tell us? You saw those games. Take us through it.
100%. Trust me, Arsenal has been on a great run of form as of late. Since after they lost 5-0 to Man City a couple of weeks after, they have been on like a 9-game unbeaten streak, winning 7 of those and only drawing 2. And today, that goalkeeper, Mr. Aaron, really pulled out the tricks. 7 save, getting him the man of the match accolade. Leicester Smith, Emil Rose-Smith, he was fantastic playing through the lines and everything. It was a wonderful game to behold. And the thing is, though, Leicester City over the past 2 or 3 seasons has been a team to reckon with in the Premier League, and they fell short, sadly. But it was an exciting game, even though Leicester had 65% of the possession, 16 shots, but they only got 8 on target. Arsenal had to come strong.
So indeed, Arsenal had to come strong. That game ended Arsenal 2, Leicester City 0 at the end of full time. Game 2, Burnley 3, Brentford 1. There was also Liverpool. Liverpool, they drew again.
Yes, sir. That is the game that should be actually up there, because Liverpool, my friend, has been running riot. They trashed Manchester United last weekend, 5-0.
Yes.
And trust me, this was big from Brighton, and they were actually down early up, and they came back and really they were 2-0 down. Jordan Henderson and Sadio Mane taking the lead early for Liverpool, but Brighton fought back sternly to put a dent in that title race, which blows the gap wide open. But even as we speaking about them, because on top is Chelsea, and they are playing Newcastle as we speak, and it's 3-0, which, trust me, that Premier League is very, very exciting this season. I know I'm running away with this, but 12:30, trust me, put your dials on. There's actually a saying that Mohamed Salah, he wants to go to Tottenham to play against Manchester again.
Okay.
Today, because he scored a hat-trick last weekend, but Manchester United, Ole, his job is on the line. It is not good seasons for him right now.
Indeed, it's not a good season for him. Other games in the mix. There is Man City 0, Crystal Palace 2. Well, the Liverpool-Brighton game, that's already... And Liverpool, again, as it is, they continue their unbeaten streak.
Right.
So let's look at what's happening. So let's look at the flow of things in the Premier League. You have Chelsea at the top of the table. Let me just do the full screen for this. So Chelsea, Liverpool, Man City, West Ham United, and then they separated by Arsenal, Brighton, and Hove Albion, and then Tottenham, Manchester City sitting in 8th. What can we see? So Chelsea, they've win, loss, win. Liverpool, they've actually, they're undefeated. They haven't lost any games. Man City, they've won their last 2. West Ham, they've won their last 2. Arsenal, prior to the last win, they drew the previous 2, winning the previous 2. Let's looking at the Premier League where it is. Who are the real contenders? Who are the pretenders? Let's put it out there early. Is there anybody that we have to look out for, honestly? We're looking at the points. Chelsea 25 points, and we're looking at the fact that after 10 games, most of the teams have actually gone through either 9 or 10 games. Who are the real contenders and the pretenders? Who's going to surprise us in the mix there?
In the present table that we're looking at?
Yeah.
Well, for sure, West Ham is on their Cinderella tale, as they say. They're having a Cinderella run right now. We kind of expect West Ham to probably fall back to at least 9 or 10 in the table as the season continues. The real title contenders that we see here are the top 3, with Man City getting a little slum right now. But to be honest, not man in the jersey I'm wearing right now, you can't count out Liverpool, and I have a strong backing for Chelsea for some reason, especially with the signing of Lukaku. They have revamped and they are coming well. I expect Arsenal to probably come mid-table-ish. That's my team, I must admit, even though we've had a bad few seasons. But I'm looking for the top 2 between Liverpool and Chelsea, to be honest. West Ham finished somewhere around 9 or 10th. Manchester United.
Are they in with a chance? I'm a Man U boy. I live and die Man U.
Man United, I'm not sure right now. They need a whole, they need a miracle. They got back Ronaldo. He brought the energy, but they need something. They need something at the helm. I don't think that Zidane is going there either. I hope not. But they need something to help to boost up their season, to be honest.
Needed something to boost up the season, folks. That's the man Syndicate giving us his roundup on the Premier League for this Saturday. Reminding you, Syndicate is going to be on with us every Saturday as we take a look at what's happening inside of the Premier League right here on Sports Central. We're not going anywhere. We stayed right. I see the man Bruce Swan. Bruce is on. Captain Bruce, good morning.
Good morning.
How are you, comrade?
I am good. I'm good. It has been a good morning.
I'm not sure if you got a chance to listen to Sid the Kid on his analysis of what's happening. Do you agree? Do you disagree? Or is he just bluffing all of us?
I really didn't get a chance to listen to him, but I heard the latter end of it. The Premier League is always competitive, I must say, and we seeing a slight changing of the guards. The big dogs are no longer unbeatable. So, I mean, it's all good for football.
It's all good for football. While we talk all things football, let's leave the Premier League and come right back to home. You're the competitions officer inside of the GFA. The green light has been given for the resumption of sporting activities. What's the plan for the GFA? I know there's a number of competitions that wasn't completed. Talk to me, Bruce.
Well, we are at the stage of clarifying from the Ministry of Health how we should go about, because in fact, football, the rules basically said you can participate in sporting activity as long as they stay 6 feet apart. That's a challenge for football, because if you're playing competitive matches, you can't stay 6 feet apart all the time. I mean, you just can't happen.
Well, I'm happy that you said that, because when I saw that on the release, I was thinking, well, hold on. That has to be for the spectators in the stands. It can't be for the players.
Well, definitely. The rule also said with no spectators. So,
well.
So, what we can do right now, the clubs can go out and train. They have the protocols from the past that we designed so that they can have at least 5 people in every quarter of the pitch where they can do that training. And these 5 people should stay together for the duration of the week, and then they move on, so that even though something breaks out, at least it is within that group of 5 and not in the entire group. So they had that protocol from the beginning when we resumed. So we expect them to follow the guidelines. They also have to ensure that the players come into practice, check their temperature, check their health before they start. So I think it's a great start that players can go out and start some kind of practice. And we look forward to maybe in the next couple of weeks, maybe things might ease up a bit, and we can start competition.
So let me talk to you. Let me allow you to put on your coaching helmet now, because outside of the competitions, the title that you hold in the GFA, we know this is Coach Bruce. What in fact should the clubs, players be doing as we speak in order to become match ready?
Right now, they should be getting back to fitness. Just general fitness and individual skill development, getting back their touches. Like I said, in small groups, they can do their passing drills and stuff. So just getting back in some sort of football fitness and just your general fitness, definitely, because it would take a couple of weeks before you start feeling yourself again.
Diet, how much of a factor is the diet in all of this?
But I hope they didn't get fat.
You mean, Bruce, you hope they're not looking like you?
I hope they didn't get fat. But that always play an important role in sport, because we use up a lot of carbohydrates and protein, so that forms the base of our diet. And people like myself, when we stop, we still proceed to have such a diet. That's why we put on the weight. But that always play a part in terms of your general fitness and your general health in terms of sport. And it goes a long way in terms of advancing yourself in terms of how much you can do. Because if you have no carbs, you would not be able to generate the necessary energy to play over 90 minutes. So this is critical. If you don't consume the protein, then the body will not be able to build and rebuild as quickly as possible. So those things are critical.
Looking forward to an exciting 2022 season once you've ironed out all the kinks and the issues with the Ministry of Health?
Well, I'm looking forward to finishing the season. We have a few things to finish. We have the under-19 that's in the quarterfinal stage. We had played 3 quarterfinal matches, and 1 didn't play because of that said outbreak in August. So we have to complete that one, and then semi-final and finals. We have the U15 boys. They have just about 3 rounds of competition to play in the group stage, and they go into the semi-final and finals. We have the Premier League to complete. Premier League only have six rounds of matches to complete. And then we have the Conference League final stage to complete. And then we also have the GFA Cup to complete. So we have a lot of competition to complete. So the 2022 season, it looks as something that we would have to make shift to ensure that the players are engaged in play.
Indeed. COVID-19 has just thrown everything into a spin, but we know with Captain Bruce at the helm, everything is going to be all right when it comes to football. Thank you, Bruce. Looking forward to this continuous engagement as you keep us up to speed with what's happening inside of the GFA. Folks, we get it ready to put a wrap on this one. I still have Sid the Kid with me. I'm going to give him, if he can, maybe a minute to summarize to me, give us a reminder of what's the expectations are for the rest of the games in the Premier League for the end of the day and probably for the rest of the weekend. Sid the Kid is back to you. Let's summarize what's happening for the rest of the day.
Yes, sir. For the rest of the day, we're looking forward to that big game for Mr. Ole, which starts in just under half an hour, which will be Tottenham versus Manchester United. That is the game of the day. Tomorrow we have Norwich playing Leeds United. Leeds has been a very good upset team. They have shown their worth since last season. We have Aston Villa versus West Ham and Wolves versus Everton. Everton should win that game comfortably on Monday, but trust me, the day has been the day for all the matches, the big matches, the upsets, everything that ran down. But keep your clock tuned for 12:30, Tottenham versus Manchester United.
I'm a Man U kind of boy. Live or die, that's what we do. Thanks a lot. That's the man Sid the Kid. And Sid the Kid, he brings the curtains down on the premiere episode of GBN Sports Central. Certainly, as we go through this, we do this every week from 11 on till 12. But we look at what's happening, not just here at home. Just before we run, we're looking at what's happening in T20 cricket, folks. Well, Australia, England, they're currently in 1-28 without loss, chasing 125 for victory. That's in that game. So England needed 98 runs from 101 balls. South Africa, they won their clash against Sri Lanka. Yes, South Africa, they scored 146 for 6. Sri Lanka, they could only manage 142. South Africa winning by 4 wickets with 1 ball remaining. Folks, that's what's happening around the globe and here at home. Reminding you, if you want to be part of Sports Central, here we discuss all the action, events, everything that is sports related. Until then, everybody, so long and keep enjoying what you do, what we do best. Happy Saturday to you. Enjoy the rest of the weekend.